All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next one, which I think is problem number 8. And it's the same type of problem as problem number 7. So I don't have to explain quite as much here because it's the exact same concept. Exact same concept. So I'm going to go ahead, just so I can think through the problem, I'm going to draw a general demand curve and a general supply curve. And just like I said in the last problem, that'll be our equilibrium. And I'm going to calculate what that equilibrium is right now. And I'm going to do that by setting my two functions equal to each other. Again, this was explained in the last video. I'm going to set them equal to each other. And then I'm going to solve them. So let's see, if I add 21 to both sides, I'll get 61x equals 610. So x, divide both sides by 61, x equals 10. That is your equilibrium quantity, is 10. And I'm going to plug that 10 into either this or this, get the same answer either way. And that'll give me my equilibrium price. If I put a 10 right here, 10 times 40 is 400. So 400 is my equilibrium price. That's 400. So that's my equilibrium. 10, 400. 10 is my equilibrium quantity. 400 is my equilibrium price. I'm going to go ahead and draw a dashed line through my equilibrium. And just as a reminder, this area is my consumer surplus. And this area down here, this area is my producer surplus. And now I just need to calculate those areas. So let's go ahead and do it. Hold on, let me change my colors. First thing, I'm gonna calculate this area right here, which is my consumer surplus. So I'm going to go to my demand function, and I'm going to find out what is this area under my demand function. So I'm going to take the integral of my demand function. I'll kind of go a little bit faster through this one because it's the same steps as the last one. So it's going to be 610x minus 21 x squared divided by 2. That's the integral of my demand function, and I'm going to evaluate it from 0 to 10. That's comes from here. That's 0. If I go down, that's 10. So I'm evaluating it from here to here. I'm trying to find that area right there. And just like my last problem, I'm going to put a 10, the upper limit, into my x's. So I'm going to put a 10 right there. It's going to be 610 times 10 minus 21 times 10 squared divided by 2. And then I'm going to subtract out, and I'm going to put a 0 into my x's. But if I do that, that zeroes out, and it's just minus 0. So I don't even have to write it. So I'm going to plug that into my calculator. You go ahead and plug that into your calculator. Make sure you get the same answer I do, in case I make a careless mistake. I'll try not to. Times 10 minus 21 times 100. And all that's going to be divided by 2. And when I put that in there, let me make sure I plugged everything in right. Yeah, it's going to be 5,050. That's not your answer. That is this area right here. But I just need this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that area I just found, and I'm going to subtract out this rectangle, the area of this rectangle, and that'll leave me with this area. So the area of this rectangle right here, that rectangle, is going to be the height is equal to the equilibrium price. The length is equal to the equilibrium quantity. 400 times 10, well, that's 4,000. So that rectangle is 4,000. And I'm going to subtract that out of the area I just found. And when I do that, I get 1,050. Let me just check over my work, make sure I didn't make any careless mistakes. Nope, that's good to go. So 1,050 is your consumer surplus. That's your consumer surplus. I'm going to go ahead and erase that so I have room to find the producer surplus. Erase all this. This. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on a second. Okay. Now I'm going to find my producer surplus. And it's going to be the exact same steps as the problem I did in the last video. Problem 7. I'm first going to take this integral. I'm going to take the integral of 40x. The integral of 40x is 40x squared divided by 2. 40 divided by 2 is 20, so it's 20x squared. The integral of 40x is 20x squared. And I am going to evaluate that over my interval, which is from 0 to 10. And that goes right here, 0 to 10. It's that interval. And when I do that, I'm going to be finding the area, this red. I'm going to be finding the area under my supply curve, that red. That's not what I want. I want that pink area, just like that last problem. So this won't be my answer when I do it, but it'll be a necessary step to getting the answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 10 and I'm going to put it into my x. So it's going to be 20 times 10 squared. 10 squared is 100, so that's going to equal 20 times 100, which is going to equal 2,000. 2,000. So this area right here, that red that I'm shading in right now, that's 2,000. That's not the area I want though. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the area of this rectangle right here, and I'm going to subtract out the area I just found, that little white space down here, and that'll leave me with the pink area. So it's going to be, remember from a few minutes ago, the area of the rectangle is 400 times 10. It's going to be 4,000. That's the area of the rectangle, minus this area I just found, which is 2,000. And that's going to equal 2,000. That's the pink area, 2,000. So your producer surplus is 2,000. And that's your answer for this one, number 8. So I'm going to end the video here. That one went a little bit quicker, so hopefully it'll upload a little bit faster. And then I'll do another video here in a minute.